Hello. Where is everybody? I'm just talking to myself. Hello. People have joined. I'm going to be talking about NFTs and crypto and the stock market and investing with my friend. Conversations with Evan. He's not here yet. He's running a little late. So if you're new, if you're not new, my name is Kenneth. I teach people how to trade and invest. I'm a self-taught stock trader. I've been doing it. There's nobody in here. I'm going to wait. What am I talking for? There's nobody in here. There's only 4 people. I'm not going to give away all the good stuff. Join when you feel like it. I'll start talking when there's 20 people in here. How about that? Send this live to your friends. Anyone who wants to learn how to invest, trade, cryptos, NFT. My friend is a crypto guy, NFT guy, Evan, conversations with Evan. He's going to be joining me in a few minutes. I see people joining. That's good. Get your crypto questions ready. Get your stock market questions ready. And I'll answer all your questions. I'm waiting for Evan. My friend is going to join me. We're going to talk about cryptos and NFT, stock market, investing, money in general, just finance stuff in general. All right, here we go. 55 people. Hello. If you want to learn how to invest in the stock market, if you want to learn about cryptocurrencies, NFTs, stay tuned. My friend is going to join me. He's the crypto expert. He's the NFT expert. Conversations with Evan is his name. We're going to talk about crypto, NFTs, stock market, investing. I'm a stock trader. I'm also a little bit of a day trader. My name is Kenneth. I'm a self-taught stock trader. I've been investing. I'm old now, as you can see, because I'm losing it. I'm old now, but I was young once, and I used to invest, and I still invest, and I now teach people how to invest here on TikTok. So if you want to learn how to invest and you want to learn maybe how to trade some stocks, I'm the guy. Wow, there's almost 200 people in here. You like my content? Thank you. I really appreciate that. I'm just trying to hype everyone up and make everyone, encourage everyone, not make. You do what you want. You want to leave? Go. I don't care. But my friend Evan is going to be joining me in a few minutes. And he is going to be talking about cryptos and NFTs. So get your questions ready. If you have questions about the stock market, Ethereum is 146 right now. I don't know what Bitcoin was because it just passed. It's on my screen over there. Keep your content ready. Keep your questions ready. If you have any stock market questions now, in the meantime, now's a good time to ask because Evan's running a little bit late. He just texted me. Hey, Scarlet Rose, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Thanks to everyone who's following. I appreciate it, but I just saw hers right there. If you haven't followed and you want to learn how to invest and you want to trade stocks, I've been wanting to break up with my girlfriend so I could get with her sister, but I don't know what to do. Yikes, that's tricky. I don't know. I'm a stock trader and I'm an investor. I am not a life coach or relationship expert. I would send you to Matchmaker Maria. That's who I'd send you to. Go talk to her. What's up with Dogecoin? You lost. Yeah. Well, we can ask Evan when he joins. The thing about Dogecoin is it's a lottery ticket. That's how I viewed it, right? So the problem, I don't trade options, so I'm not the person to ask. The thing about Dogecoin is you treat it like a lottery ticket. And I think one of the big problems that we saw is people were treating it the opposite. They were treating it like all eggs in one basket. This is going to make me rich because Elon and whatever. Kohl's, maybe if we head into a recession, their discount, right? Their discount clothing. I don't know. If you comment on any one of my videos and ask me, I'll do a video response. But I don't have my computer here right now because I'm going to be having a little chat with my friend. Dogecoin, I treat it like a lottery ticket. In other words, I put in what I'm willing to lose. Same with Shiba Inu or any of these really high risk things. That way, timed funds are great, especially as you're getting older. It does all the work for you. It moves you into safer stuff, so you don't have to really worry. Maybe you have a financial advisor as well as you get older and hopefully wealthier who can help you with that stuff. Timed funds, they're called something else. They have another name, target date funds or something. I think that's what they're called, target date funds. Wow, Medic. Hey. Do I think Dogecoin will rebound? Maybe, but I don't know. I mean, why don't we wait for Evan? We can ask him. And he'll give us a fair and honest opinion on that because it seems to be the hot question now. Good evening. Are they tokenized stocks where everything is on the blockchain? That's another question for Evan. I'm going to ask you guys to hold all of your crypto and NFT questions until Evan joins me because he's the expert. And then we're going to have a little bit of a conversation, introductions, and then we'll get to the question. Both your baby mamas hate you. Oh, man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Carlos. How did I do in the market today? How did I do today in the market? Well, I didn't. I have 2 stocks that I'm currently holding that I'm trading. They're down. Thank you for the follow. When is Evan coming on? He said he's going to be 5 minutes late, and we were supposed to be on at 9, so hopefully in 1 more minute. I'm also ready for the CPI. We'll see what happens tomorrow. What is my total portfolio worth? None of your business. Hey, Loopy Guy, what's up, man? Evan will be here in 1 minute or maybe somewhere thereabouts. Hello, Majestic, what's up, man? So someone asked how I did in the markets. My account, how's my account doing? I don't even know. I was busy. I was doing other stuff. I'm trying to go full-time TikToker now, so I'm trying to land some brand deals. It's not going so hot at the moment. So if anyone has, hello, Antonio from San Diego, what's up? I'm from Washington, D.C. CPI will be bad. It might be bad, but it's also going to be outdated because the gas prices are already falling. So it'll show us stuff like gas prices and how people are spending, and it's going to be last month's data. So hopefully, we'll see, but hopefully. You're holding Snapchat. Oy. Sorry. Yes, holding Snapchat from $50. It will be back. Snapchat? Probably. I think Snapchat will do fine long term. Majestic, thank you for the likes. I'm waiting for Evan. He's going to be my crypto and NFT guest of the evening. And then we can ask him all of the crypto and NFT questions that everyone wants to know the answer to. In the meantime, if you have stock market questions, feel free to ask about day trading or stock trading or investing. And Neo thoughts? Well, I think the electric vehicle stocks had a very good day today because Go EV, or I think it's Go VE or one of those penny stocks. Was it Walmart ordered like 5,000 cars? Stock shot up over 50%. It's a penny stock, so it really moved. My live is paused. Is it still paused? Sorry, my mom keeps texting me. And every time she texts, it interrupts the thing. So stop texting me, Mom. Do you have crypto yourself? How much of your portfolio is crypto? 20, 30% maybe? I don't know. That's ballpark. I'm just guessing. It could be higher. I have a lot of Bitcoin. I have a lot of Ethereum. I have a lot of, hey, Joey. Snowflake, will it be back at 300? I don't know, because we saw a lot of stocks hit record highs over the last couple of years with the easy money from the Fed and all that stuff. Factor in also all the retail traders and investors who came into the markets. CPI, it's going to be probably a little outdated because the June gas prices, June, right? Are we in July? Jeez, I don't even know the months anymore. The June gas prices were higher, so it's going to be bad, but hopefully it's outdated information, in other words, and because the gas prices are already down considerably. I live in DC. 2 weeks ago, I paid $5.30 or $5.40 a gallon. Now it's under $4.80. And that's at the expensive gas station up the street from me. I don't know what the cheap gas station down the street from me is, but they're usually like 10 cents cheaper, so I don't know what they are in DC. I can't wait to buy Meta. Yeah, Meta. Woof. What sort of brand deals am I trying to work on? Brand deals. The brand deals that I'm looking to land are basically anything. The unfortunate thing, your $3 giant pizza went to $4.69 in a month. Yikes. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like a lot. It's a $1.69 increase, but percentage-wise, I think that's pretty considerable. You paid $5.01 for gas yesterday. Where do you live? I'm in DC. It's way less. It was a lot. It was a lot a month ago. It's much lower now. The brand deals. I'm trying to get any sort of brand deals that I can get. I mean, they don't have to be specific to the stock market. That's the thing. And I'm getting a lot of emails from companies going, we're brand new and really cool social media / stock brokerage hybrid. I get an email from companies like that 5 times a day sometimes. I'd say 15 times a week on average. I get emails from a new brokerage / social media website. Yeah, Google stock price, $468 in Florida. That's pretty good. Shopify will probably be $150 again. Yeah, Shopify. I actually bought more Shopify last week after their. Did they have a split too? Shopify had a split, and I bought a little after the split. Hey, Golf Addict, what's up? I bought more Shopify. I think they'll be fine. I think we're gonna move. I think we're just at the very beginning of the whole like creator economy and the side hustle thing. People will circle back to that when things improve and they'll start launching brands and stuff like that. Simply Investor, hello. Where would you put $10,000 in stocks? Well, I'm not a licensed financial advisor, so your answer is I can't tell you. I'll tell you. I'll say here are the stocks. You'll buy them. They'll go down. Then you'll be mad at me, and I'll get sued for giving financial advice. So I'm not. I would look at index funds. I have playlists on here on my TikTok account of dividend stocks and investment ideas. They're just ideas to get you thinking. But I don't. Amazon, I love Amazon. I bought more Amazon when did I buy more Amazon? 104, I think is what I paid for it. Yeah, gas prices in Florida was $3.39. Yeah, it's a huge increase. The gas prices are still way up. They shouldn't be that high. Exxon, shame on you. They're Exxon, all of them. I don't know. I'm having like a stroke or something. I can't think of what the word is. It's like I don't know what the word is that I'm looking for, but they're being greedy. You like my dividend stock? Thank you. Yeah. I mean, the idea here is with those videos is to get you to think about big picture, how much it costs to invest, how much it costs to have in a stock that can earn you $20,000. I'm not saying go buy $1 million worth of McDonald's stock. The whole idea is to put it into perspective. Wow, $1 million investment in McDonald's only makes me $20,000 a year from their dividend. That is eye-opening for some people, especially people who are doing one share at a time very slowly, and then they realize they need 3, 4, 5,000 shares in a company. Whoa, it changes that perspective pretty quickly. 96 a barrel right now. Good. Let's drop those prices. Man, especially for me. I got that Bronco. It's very thirsty. Okay. Ooh, a lot of questions. Have you ever heard of Maggie? No, I haven't. Thoughts on dollar cost averaging? I have some thoughts. How much inflation are you expecting? Hopefully it drops a little bit. Look, the CPI data is going to be a little outdated. We've been talking about it a lot already. It's going to be a little outdated because the prices were higher in June. Now they are coming down a little bit. Thoughts on dollar cost averaging? If it's all you can afford, it's what you got to do. The thing about dollar cost averaging is you're getting a little bit at a time over a very long period of time. Lump sum investing is what I've always done, where I just go in and I say, hey, I don't really care because I'm buying this company because I believe long term. So previously, over my last 20 years of investing, if I wanted 100 shares or 200 shares or 500 shares, I would just buy them. But if you can't afford to do that, then dollar cost averaging is the alternative. The exception here is what we're dealing with right now. Hello, hey. The thing that we see right now is all this recession talk. What if the markets tank? What if they crater? Then of course you don't want to go lump sum. You don't want to buy your whole position now if the belief is that things are going to get worse. You don't want to do a lump sum because then if your stock that you have your eye on drops 20% after you purchase it and you bought your whole position and you don't have any money left to buy more, you're out of luck. So one option would be hybrid lump sum investing. You buy, let's say you want 100 shares, you buy 50 shares, and then you dollar cost average, or you wait for the big down days. I'm talking, the Dow Jones is down 800 points and everyone's freaking out. Maybe you buy a little bit more. Maybe. Have you ever... Okay, hold on. I got to scroll up a second. So you invest more into... there he is.
What's going on, my friend? I'm so sorry it took me forever. Thank you for...
No worries. No worries. I told people that I was going to have a crypto and NFT expert, and they started bombing me with questions. What about this one? What about that one? And I said, you guys got to hold on. He's not here yet. Give me a minute. Wait for Evan.
I am so excited. I'm honored. You give you such high praise. I hope you don't mind if I eat a little bit. It's still my dinner time. I've been working out in the yard.
No, go for it, please.
Taking some calls.
Yeah.
How was your day, man?
It was pretty good. Someone was asking about my stock trading. My stock trading days aren't behind me by any stretch, but I am trying to switch a little bit more into more full-time TikTok content creator. So it's a lot of brand deals. I'm doing emails and Zoom calls with people. So I haven't really been trading too much these days, which is probably for the best.
Guidelines for brand deals? Like, are you targeting like particular brands? Are you looking in finance? Are you looking elsewhere? I'm curious to know what your thoughts on that are.
So I get a lot of emails from companies that are finance related, but they're all brokerages. They're all like, we're a new crypto, they think they're all innovative, but they're all like, oh, we're a brokerage and we're a social media platform all in one. But there's so many like that now. I get emails, I get like 20 emails a week from companies like that. And I'm like, listen, I get emails from companies like, oh, but we're different. We're different.
Right.
I want to do more stuff. I mean, like, anything can be. I can have a partnership with anybody. It doesn't have to be stocks. It can be Doritos. It could be Crumble cookies. I'm not going to try to steal your. I'm not going to try to steal yours though.
Let's tag team them, man. I'm telling you what. And again, thank you so much for that wonderful gift card you sent. If you guys don't know, Kenneth, my friend, sent me a Crumble Cookies gift card while Kim and I had COVID. It was fantastic. It was a birthday present. We used it when we got sick, and I've never had a better cookie.
Good. I'm glad.
Our friend Warren Fudd is here and says, "I love you both, and I love so much that you are both here."
Hello.
What a sweet thing, huh?
Yeah. So I have a lot of questions that I was talking about stocks before you joined. So let me.
Well, go through it and rapid fire me, and I'll just give some rapid fire crypto answers. How do you feel about it?
I love it. Let me answer one stock one first. He was saying, would you invest more into dividends? Yeah. Dividends or stocks without dividends. So growth stocks are really great when the economy is strong and there's not high interest rates. Now that things have kind of shifted a little bit, dividend stocks seem to be more recession proof. They'll still probably go down, but they're a little bit more insulated. So I would do a little bit of a hybrid if you were worried. All right, let me see. If anyone is still in here who was asking crypto questions, NFT questions, and I have questions of my own as well. Because Evan and I just met. For anyone who doesn't know, we just met at NFT NYC, and it was so cool. I was able to meet like Demonic Crypto, who's a friend of mine, Meg, BZK, Crypto Mason. There was a whole group of people there that I got to meet, and I was asking all of them. The thing that I've noticed so much about NFTs is that they seem to have been sort of like branded kind of poorly from the beginning. Would you agree, Evan, that like the messaging was off a little bit? Like, oh, it's a JPEG. Why is it worth $2 million for a picture?
Yeah, it was, and I think it was probably. We can get into more helpful branding, but I think it was a result of kind of just like cascading hype. People capitalize on what makes sense for what's happening and what's important to them right now. Oh, I'm making money. Oh, it's a picture. Oh, okay. And then that proliferates and proliferates and proliferates until people start to ask, and then nobody has a good answer. So they repeat what they've heard. We have a real problem with that in this space, for sure.
So here's the big question. Right as soon as I said my crypto and NFT friend is coming on, I got peppered with questions about Dogecoin. I know you're probably tired of talking about it.
No, I'm not at all.
People have purchased in at like record. They bought when Elon was on Saturday Night Live at the all-time highs. They held it all the way. It's it's too late now to cut your losses before it gets worse. So a lot of bag holders here. What would you say to people who are asking, can it come back? Will it come back? What's the story with Dogecoin?
Let me say first, just by way of introduction, since a lot of you might not know me.
Sorry,
my name is Evan, and I, like Kenneth, I'm a self-taught investor, and I was an actor by trade before I came to this. And my focus, though I'm interested in how you can make a lot of money pretty quickly trading very volatile assets, I tend to work in crypto. First of all, that's how I came to it. I was interested in that. I'm at the start of my journey, a low net worth individual. I didn't have a lot of money and was pretty highly risk tolerant. So it was interesting to me to spread a lot of bets in this highly volatile space with the understanding that many of them would go to zero and some of them would just go to the moon. And so at first I was really interested in speculation, but now pretty quickly, honestly, I started to realize that there was a lot more wealth to be had that I could control if I wasn't trying to speculate. It's really hard to speculate. There are some people who are technical analysts who read charts, who trade without emotion, who follow signals and do very well. It's an art and a science. For me, who is not a technical analysis person, who's also not a traditional technical builder, I'm not a coder, a software engineer, I really started to pay attention to who from a business standpoint was doing valuable things, who from a product standpoint was doing valuable things. And most of the investments that I make in cryptocurrency and NFTs are companies who are emphasizing crypto beyond currency, NFTs beyond JPEGs, who are building for the next 10 years and beyond. So I don't speculate a lot. I will say to you, Doge holders, I think right now, the only real value of Doge is as a speculative investment. I have heard a lot of people say that they're doing this, they're doing that. They seem to be capitalizing well on the memes and integrating with, different types of vendors to accept Doge as a payment. I personally don't think it does anything that is so unique or so interesting that I am encouraged to put my money there. I think at best it might be good for, swing trading kind of thing right now. I don't think it's likely that it's going to pump significantly. I think that's a flash in the pan. And I will say this too. One thing I really like about Doge is his name is escaping me, but I've met their founder. And what I like about him is he is trying to build it into a serious product, but he really understands the value of memes. Not just like memes, funny dog pictures, but memes meaning an instance of communication that is easy to understand, is divisive, and that can disseminate quickly. For example, if when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars, that event could be called a meme. Indeed, many picture memes were made about it. Everyone had an opinion about it, and everyone was talking about it the next day. This Doge guy is really smart. He understands the value of memes. So if I was going to invest in Doge at all, it would be because I recognize how smart he is and how big a role memes will play in the future. But as a speculative investment, I don't like to make picks or advice, tell people what to invest in, but I would not invest in it personally.
Yeah, my whole take on these kind of speculative meme stocks and whatever is to treat it like a lottery ticket. How much, if you're going to lose everything or 90% of it, how much are you comfortable losing? Like if I go to 7-Eleven and I buy a scratch off for a lottery ticket, I know I'm going to lose whatever I put in. I know I'm going to lose. Then it's a little easier for me to go, okay, I lose $10, but it's fun. I scratch it. We pretend what happens if we get rich. That's worth it for some of the fantasy. And then you go on. What I think too many people have made the mistake of is reversing it. So instead of being majority in safe stuff and a little in speculative, they're very heavy. Like you said, they want to get rich. They want to get rich quick. But someone in my comments is saying Doge has already hung through 2 recessions already, or maybe crypto bear markets. So, okay. So here's a question for you. This is from Jonathan Judas. In your opinion, makes a long-term value crypto a hold?
That's a great question. And I'll say first to the Doge question, just because something is here or has weathered a storm doesn't mean that it's a product I'm interested in investing in. I mean, Coca-Cola, as a speculative play, has been around forever and is probably not going anywhere anytime soon. But I also don't expect them to do a bunch of new stuff. I'm not as excited by the fact that it's here. Sure. There are many crypto tokens and non-fungible tokens that are here, that have weathered storms, or that are going places that are more promising. So the things I look for, what I think makes a good investment is that somebody is building something, that it's not just speculative. For example, Shiba Inu was speculative when it started. Doge was speculative when it started. It was a meme. Someone was capitalizing on a meme. And then later they were like, oh, we got a lot of eyes. We'll build a wallet. We'll build a game. A lot of people do that. I'm really interested in people who have built something before they come to you to ask for money. Or, at the very least, by the time they start asking for money, even if they haven't built anything, they've got a real strong team. I like teams more than I like individuals. I like doxed, meaning everybody knows their public identity, like me. You can look me up on the internet. Anybody who's involved in any of my projects can talk to me personally, or at the very least can vet me thoroughly. I also personally, from a lot of my portfolio in crypto is layer 1 tokens. And a layer 1, if you don't know, is a coin that is the native currency of a blockchain network. There are many different blockchain networks. Not every cryptocurrency is a coin. Every crypto is a token, but not all of them are coins. Coins are the native asset of a network, like Bitcoin, like Ethereum, like Doge, or AVAX, or Cardano, ADA. I like investing in them because I believe the future is multi-chain. We're going to need many different blockchain networks to build a future of this kind of internet. The same way we have many different cell phone providers, many different automobile manufacturers. And I believe that the future, therefore, will be multi-chain. And so since these people are usually teams who are usually public and usually have a lot of resources to build infrastructure, I invest in them so that when people build cars later, they'll have roads to drive on, kind of thing. They're building networks, they're building infrastructure. There are many of them, and a lot of them are going to be around for the long term. So I like that because I don't like to trade day in and day out. Most of my investments are layer one tokens, and I park them there. I park $1,000 and forget about it, or $100 and forget about it, and dollar cost average when the price is down, and if I still believe in it. And it's nice because I don't have to be on my phone all day. I don't have to worry that something's going to happen. If I want to invest more or change my strategy, I have a longer time horizon to do it. Sure. Is that a good answer? Does it make sense? What do you think?
I thought it was a great answer. I have a follow-up from Jonathan Judas. Also, hello, Money Badger is in here. He's saying, rate my portfolio and my diversification. Is that something you're okay with doing?
Yeah, I'd do it. It's going to be tough for me to do it by your standards, meaning no investment is one size fits all, right? And a A+ rated portfolio for me might be an F for somebody else. So I'll rate it according to what I think and explain why I like it or don't.
I like that. Okay, so it's Bitcoin, DOT, AVAX, Solana, Atom, and ADA.
Listen, man,
this isn't mine. This is someone in my chat.
No, I like that, and I'll tell you why. There are a couple tokens in there that I am less bullish on. That's a layer one strategy. This person is investing in layer one tokens. All these are different blockchain networks, and all of them have done different kinds of things. Bitcoin is very different from Solana. Solana is very different from AVAX. All of them are very different from DOT. They all have different infrastructures, which if you're interested as a watcher learning about, you can just go read, I would call it the white paper of DOT or of AVAX, etc. Check it out. You'll learn a little about how they're built differently. I think if you're looking, I think that's a good portfolio. I personally am not very bullish on Solana because I think it's mostly like a rich people's game. I think there are a lot of rich and wealthy people who have reached out to people I know saying, hey, you want to advertise about our product? I don't see them. I feel like they got too big too quickly. You know how sometimes a company will go public or they'll get a valuation
like Rivian, for example,
before they've grown into it.
Right.
That's exactly right. So in my opinion, Solana is one of those. I exited Solana after the last kind of downturn, but I like all those other ones. I think they're very promising, and I think if that person is looking to diversify more, that they could move into, if they wanted to stay in crypto, I think they could move into some layer 2 positions, meaning some niches. All those are blockchain networks, but are you investing in any DeFi companies that have their own tokens? Are you investing in any layer 2s on Ethereum or another blockchain you like that are building solutions on top of your favorite blockchain to do slightly more niche things? I think if you have high conviction, like data storage or data transfer or security, there are tokens like that. I like it though. I like that person's portfolio.
So the follow-up from someone else, from the Money Badger, in relation to that comment is, what about Link? It's a must-have in my opinion.
First of all, is that the Money Badger, the Amazon seller who also shares knowledge for free with people?
Yes, he's great. Guy. He's a friend. Yeah, he's a friend of mine.
Love the ethos, brother. I'm glad you're here. Yeah. I think Link is also a good play. Chainlink is something called an oracle, which, if you don't know, means it is sort of like the peanut butter between the bread. It is sort of the lanes between the highways. Oracles allow blockchains and the people who use them to talk to outside sources of information. Blockchains without oracles would be totally closed networks. So they help you expand your infrastructure. And Chainlink in particular has been around since, I think it's been public since like 2017, possibly earlier. And it is like the number one oracle in cryptocurrency right now. Its all-time high, I think, was just under like $60. And right now, it might even have gone to single digits.
Wow.
Again, I'm not much of a speculator, so I don't look at price, but that is absolutely, I think, in terms of people building vital products, everybody uses their infrastructure. I don't know a lot of people who have built a competitor that is as robust. They're like the Verizon of crypto oracles. They're way out in front of everybody. I think that's a great strategic play if you're talking about use cases, you know?
Sure.
I like it. Good call, Money Badger.
Yeah, Money Badger is great. And he says he loves
I'm not
us
surprised,
both.
though.
Yeah, no.
Thanks, brother.
Jonathan Judah says regarding Solana and ADA, he's not buying anymore, and he hasn't branched out into other layers. Fully Faltu. I can't read it because it's a little blurry on my screen, but says, how about Stellar?
Stellar Lumens. I don't know enough about it to have an opinion.
Oh yeah, Stellar Lumens is the one that you get for free if you take like quizzes on Coinbase, right? Is that the one that they give away for free?
Well, they change it up. They're like crumble cookies, where every week they've got like one new flavor.
Gotcha.
If you use Coinbase's Learn to Earn program, they've always got a roster of like, these are the tokens you can earn right now. Yeah. Which, if people are watching and they don't know about Learn to Earn, it's a program offered by Coinbase, which I would highly recommend. You can expose yourself to new crypto assets by learning about crypto. Zero risk, earn crypto assets. And it's not a lot. It's like, $10 here and there, but free money, people.
That's not bad.
And a lot of those tokens are like, they're small. And the thing about small tokens, meaning small market cap, is that, like Doge did, all of a sudden to go from, 0.002 of a cent to $1, if all you got's $10, you're doing pretty well.
I agree. So let me ask you a question about NFTs. Hold on. Someone else has asked another question. I'm gonna let everyone else in the comments ask the questions first, and then I'll ask my questions later.
That sounds fair. And I have some comments in my questions, but I'm going to say to my folks, if you have a question, go over to Trade Invest Simplify, follow his page if you're not already. I think it's a lot of folks that you know too. And pardon me if I'm slow to get to it. I'm happy to take all their questions. One of my favorite things about my comment section is people know that I'm not good at comments, so they end up helping each other and talking to each other. It's just superb.
Yeah, because when I go live, I end up like one person will ask a question, I'll talk about it for like 3 minutes, and then it'll be like there are 18 new comments, and I'm like, oh my god, and I scroll through. And
you've got a huge following, man, relative to me. When I go live, I'll have like 20 people tops, unless it's something really high, So, but please continue. I'm taking away from your folks.
Sure. So he's asking if you could talk about staking, like whether you prefer to stake coin, where you prefer to stake your coins at, and which cryptocurrencies you might be staking, or like should you stake some versus others? Should you not stake them, or is it too risky to have it tied up in a staking situation?
Okay, all these are great questions. I like to stake cryptocurrency. It's a case by case thing. I prefer to stake something that I'm going to hold for a long time. If I'm not swing trading it, and I don't do a lot of swing trading, I stake it. My Cardano, which I've been holding forever, is staked. I'm not touching it. I'm just adding to it. My eGold, which I plan to hold for a long time, is not staked because right now, eGold is doing this. It's hitting 55 and it's going to 48. And it's hitting 55 and it's going to like clockwork. And so I mostly can get better, return on my investment by trading. And I really don't do that a lot, but only because I'm intimately familiar with this token. I feel like I understand it well, and I got a system set up. If you are interested in staking, I would say how to evaluate a staking opportunity would be to ask yourself, if you like to swing trade, you might say, how much do I want to stake versus how much do I want to have available? Because a lot of staking mechanisms have a lockup period. Something you should always look at before you stake is read the fine print to see, can I take my money out right away? That's number one. How long is the lockup? Number two is there a fee for withdrawing it? Staking tokens like Bitcoin or Ethereum, usually there's a very negligible fee, if any, because they're so well established and there's a lot of liquidity for them. But if you're on like a brand new, DeFi burger token or something like that, they're probably going to have like a 15% fee to unstake, and they may make you hold your stuff for a long time. So a lot of those are highly risky, and you can't always get your money out as the price is going and you want to. So that's kind of what I would say are some of my North Stars for staking.
Sure.
But absolutely, I'm in favor of it.
And the follow-up, I guess, is what do you think about staking at the moment with all the problems around it, like the USDC, the Luna thing? Do you think that's
that doesn't worry me as much? I think if you're in positions that you plan to hold for a long time, or you're able to quickly withdraw your money from the staking pool, like unstake it and then sell it if you get uncomfortable. I think that those are requisite skills before you start staking, or even before you start investing in crypto. A lot of people buy Bitcoin or whatever, and then they say, well, wait, how do I get dollars back? That's number one. You got to know how to move in and out of your positions. But if you're comfortable doing that, you feel like the time window is good if things change, then I would say don't hesitate to stake.
Okay.
If you're going to hold it anyway.
Sure, right, yeah. Are you all trying to get in early on projects like Sandbox, or do you wait until they're proven?
That's a great question too, man. These people
it's all from Jonathan Judas. I don't know if you know him, but he's in my lives all the time. He asks great questions.
I feel like I do. And if you're not following me, Jonathan, if I'm mistaking you with someone else, please follow me because I'd love your questions on my stuff.
Everyone should be following Evan.
God bless you. I'm sorry, what was the question again? Your flattery moved me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, he was asking about if you try to get in early on projects like Sandbox, or do you wait until they're proven?
That's right. Right now, no. I used to. Right now, my large focus, because I like work in crypto and work in NFTs, my primary investing focus is creating stuff and building things, honestly, truly. I feel like that's where I can have the most control, the most impact. I really don't look at my assets a lot. For somebody who's new or really interested in moving things around and learning, I think that one of the best ways to, and ethically, I think it's a little questionable. We could have a good debate about it. I think if you know of a company, we call them launch pads. MakerDAO is one example, that incubate and launch different kinds of projects. Usually they have specialties, like there's a gaming launch pad or a DeFi launch pad or whatever. They will vet founders for you. They'll back the team. They'll help them find advisors and sponsors, sometimes give them early stage funding. And then they will open like an ICO, an initial coin offering, which is the first opportunity public investors have. Usually to participate in something like that, you have to hold the native token of the launch pad. In the case of MakerDAO, they have a maker token, and you got to have the equivalent of about $5,000 invested in order to be chosen. It's a lottery at that stage to invest in these projects. And even then there's a limit. You can invest usually like up to $10,000, depending on who you are. If they know you and you have a relationship and you're someone they go to for funding, if you have a high net worth, you can probably build a relationship with a launch pad and become a preferred early investor. I believe that if that's your strategy, that's probably the most, as a speculator, the most like cut and dry guaranteed way to make money on cryptocurrency. Because what happens is everybody else who buys in later is going to pump your bag big time. And you'll see this when a token is launched publicly. You'll note that it'll go from 30 cents to $1, and then it'll go right back down before it kind of finds a price. And that's because all those people that got in on the launchpad launch are selling their guaranteed profit. And you can make anywhere from 3 to 5 to 10x pretty regularly on that kind of thing. Now, I will say, consumers in the US, there are regulations against that. It is not something that is legal for you to do. However, I do know people who are very diligent about using VPNs, or who have businesses where they partner with investors abroad, and they have an agreement where that investor abroad is the person who invests. They seed the fund. That person does the KYC and is like the public face of their investor pool in the launch pad. So there are ways around it that are legally compliant. I'm a fan of that. I don't do as much like, will this project pump, won't this project pump? If you're looking for that, though, I would recommend you follow, there's a character on Twitter called NFT God, who does a lot of really helpful threads. Just did one today about how they identify projects and the strategies they use to cover their costs, take profits, cover their taxes, and time things well. There's a tool I'll recommend if you like that too. It's called Icy Tools, icy.tools. It's got like up to the second price action. It's an aggregator of news. I know a lot of people who do like early speculation that use that to try and pick projects. And another one I really like is called Lunar Crush, like Lunar Crush. It's a news aggregator, and it has a couple other metrics it tracks. It'll tell you, like, for example, this is the project with the most mentions this week across these social medias. This is the project that's had the biggest growth in mentions over the last 72 hours, week, or whatever. That kind of stuff can be really helpful for learning. And also, just talk to people like that who do that kind of thing, and you can learn that strategy pretty quickly, I think.
Okay. Okay, here we got some more questions. Antonio says, I know very little about crypto. Any tips on where to get started? Yeah, the first tip would be follow Evan. Go through my follow list as well. Anyone who has crypto in their name is a worthwhile follow. Demonic Crypto is a friend of ours. He's great.
Alex is over here right now in my comments. I would say
Good.
if you're looking for more people to follow, pop over into my comments and follow anybody who's commenting, because they're a lot of our colleagues.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so 25%, this is from Canadian Boy, says 25% of institutional buyers think crypto is going to zero. Do you have a thought on that?
Sure. Over 50% of institutional banks worldwide are invested in a cryptocurrency asset. And I would also say that, I mean, I don't know. I don't have, that's my one stat on hand that I have this flashy. I want to say that's the International Monetary Fund did a study that has that. I can find the source if you need it.
Sure.
But Google it, it'll come up. But I mean, that's the story of history, right?
Sure.
Horse, farmers were like, that automobile thing is going nowhere fast. And then the .com boom happened and everyone was like, see, I told you it was a bubble.
Right.
The technology behind crypto is sound. I think it's here to stay.
So we have a follow-up question from the Money Badger. I don't know if he's still in here, but if you're still in here, we're going to get to your questions. By the way, if you ask a question, we're going to get to it, but we're going to get
I'm going to try and be quicker.
Okay, that's my biggest problem.
I'm wordy,
Yeah. So Money Badger says, what blue chip NFTs are you looking at? I love the Proof ecosystem and VFriends and World of Women.
All great NFTs, all great teams, all great communities. If you're looking for blue chips, and what you mean is like speculative plays where the floor is certainly going to rise, you can probably make the most money in NFTs right now on the Ethereum blockchain. But I would highly encourage anybody who's an NFT collector to check out other blockchains. I create my NFTs. Our team works on Elrond. And of course, we're going to build out and branch out to many other chains. But Elrond is a carbon negative blockchain. Super fast, uses an incredible sharding infrastructure that is highly scalable, has a powerful, committed team who's launched some fantastic products. I absolutely think they could become the CBDC of most European countries and could become a top 10 token in the next couple of years. Who knows what will happen, but absolutely the tech is there.
Okay.
So their NFT ecosystem is robust too. I would, sell you my own bag and say, I think the Faceless Many is going to be a blue chip NFT, which is my team's collection. We have 3 collections on the Elrond network. And just, not to show my bags because I don't want it to be a commercial, I will tell you why I would say that project or any project would be a blue chip beyond you can make money on it. And the first thing is powerful team. Not just a mom and pop, not just a marketing ploy. Goblins WTF was like an interesting kind of shady, by which I mean private team. But I don't know that they're building anything. I like teams that are public, that when they talk about NFTs, like Kevin Rose at Proof, when he talks about NFTs, he's thinking about it in a way that 99% of people are not. That's someone I would invest in, no matter what they did. If you're going to be a blue chip NFT, you're somebody who's building right now in the bear market. You're somebody who answers your community's questions well. You have a good relationship with your community, not a volatile one. And you just, that's what I would say. The number one predictor of is an NFT going to be a blue chip is there a team? Are they committed to continuing to build and continuing to deliver value to the community? If the answer is yes, then the floor will rise and value will be delivered to the holders one way or another.
Sure. Okay, another crypto question. This is from Kendall. Kendall Gator. Was crypto designed to be a money-making item or a decentralized currency?
I would say,
or can it be both?
It can be both and neither at the same time. It's a non-dualistic thing. Cryptocurrency was designed as a rules-based, privatized, but public, or excuse me, like not privately held, but like you can be private, but public, so transparent, trustless way to use encrypted technology to prove ownership of digital assets and create currency. It's got applications beyond that. Crypto fungible tokens can be used for many different things beyond just money. Non-fungible tokens can too, for identity, for provenance in a supply chain scenario, in an art scenario, as a way to reward, even non-monetarily, somebody's loyalty, like the way your credit card points do. So I don't know. I think it's neither. I think it's both and neither would be my answer.
Someone is asking his username or their username is NFT Portfolio says, mate, you forgot your food. Evan is always eating on his lives. I have no food. I already ate. There you go. Clean dinner plate.
I'm a clean plate ranger, baby.
Okay, so fully is asking, what's stopping countries from making their own digital coin? I guess he means as like their own native currency instead of buying Bitcoin like El Salvador.
I think the answer is that most of those countries, they're incumbents in the power structure. They will not do that, I believe, until they feel that there is too much to lose from not doing it. We see the same thing in many different industries. Most recently, I heard William Quigley, who is the co-founder of Wax, which is a blockchain. Check it out. They're focused on gaming. Talk about gaming development. And he made a point that gaming, like every industry, is innovated by newcomers because the incumbent companies have a vested interest usually in keeping things the way they currently are. He used the example of arcades were overturned by companies like Nintendo that brought platforms into households. Companies like Nintendo were then overturned by World of Warcraft, EverQuest, and massively multiplayer online PC games that were not exclusive to a particular platform or operating system. And now, you know, the shoot 'em up killer game of 15 years ago has been replaced by a new archetype of social games where everyone's a winner and it's about what we can build together. Fortnite, Minecraft, etc. All of these revolutions were the people who were, you know, the old guard tried to stop them. So in this scenario, the United States, Russia, China are like the old guard. They have invested trillions of dollars into a monetary system, and they really like a monetary system where they are in control, where they can, you know, control the currency. And right now, the U.S. especially has a vested interest in keeping the U.S. dollar as the world's reserve currency. And I believe until they can find a way to make a U.S.-backed token the world's reserve currency, that they don't have an interest in doing it. Countries like El Salvador have an interest in doing it because imagine El Salvador trying to build a currency that caught up to the dollar. Their currency's in trouble, highly inflated. There's a lot of corruption. It would take them lots of time and lots of dollars to get to where we are. So instead, they've spent less money and taken less time to leapfrog us. And I believe we'll see, you know, the Philippines is doing it, Honduras is doing it. They're bringing their elections onto the blockchain. They're doing all these use cases that countries like ours are, you know, not interested in doing yet. But they will be, I believe, when momentum starts to tip the other direction. I think it'll probably happen in Europe first and possibly Asia. I think China is a place where it could be implemented pretty quickly.
Interesting. Demonic Crypto is now on my side. So hello, Alex. Everyone who sees him in the chats should also give him a follow. Give everyone a follow. Why not? So I have a question about NFTs as a use case.
Can I real
for
quick,
like,
before you ask
oh, yeah,
that
please.
one,
Yeah,
I got a
question.
follow-up to that I got on my side that I just want to touch that said, do you think cash will ever disappear completely? Will something replace the saying cash is king? This is from ZK Fruit Roll-Up, who is a new friend of mine. Welcome. I'm glad that you're here.
Hello.
I think there are a lot of advantages that digital money has over paper money. You don't need to pay any money to store it anywhere because it doesn't physically exist. You don't need a vault for it. You don't need security cameras for it. It cannot be forged. It cannot be stolen the same way that physical money can just be snipped from your pocket. It doesn't deteriorate over time. However, I think it is possible that we will always use physical stores of value, at least until our species evolves in such a way, perhaps that, you know, we are transhuman, fully integrated with computers in a more seamless way than like my cell phone is in my hand and I can put it down. I think unless and until that kind of thing happens, I personally can't imagine. Maybe dollars will go away, paper money and coins, but I personally can't imagine like a physical money of some kind ceasing to be valuable.
Right. Kendall is saying we can't even get rid of the penny, and that costs more to produce than it's worth.
Yeah, right? Gosh. Good point.
Imagine how much. Also, imagine how much we would save if there was printing all this money in the paper and the waste that goes into all of it, moving it around in the trucks on the roads.
Yeah,
They pick up the money and they.
People who pick on Bitcoin, for example, as energy intensive, are not often as intellectually honest about the expense of our money.
Sure.
They are often not as critical of the expense to our environment of our money or of tech we use every day, like Google. A transaction on the Elrond network consumes less than half the energy of a Google search. You know what I mean? Like, that's awesome. We should hold Google, we should hold our money printers to the same kind of scrutiny that we're holding Bitcoin to. We become so, used to it. Anyway, sorry, you had a question, brother.
Yeah, okay. So my question is more so Alex and I were talking about this when we were in New York, and I wanted to talk a little bit more about it. Some use cases, scenarios for NFTs, right? Because so right now, like we were talking about, NFTs are pudgy penguins and the sympathy for the devil and whatever. But there are ways for businesses to really use them as well. And so like the scenario that I posed to him was like, let's say I have a jewelry business. Let's say I make jewelry. I get my diamonds from a mine in Kenya. And someone comes to me and says, "Hey, are these blood diamonds or are they not blood diamonds?" And I said, "Oh, no, don't worry. These are conflict free. And you take my word for it. But I could be lying. I could print out a piece of paper. Look, here's a certificate. It could be bullshit." So as a jewelry company, as a hypothetical, if I had a jewelry company and I got these mines from the diamond mines, how could I use an NFT, or maybe not NFT? I don't know, because I don't know, this isn't my space. But how could I use this technology, the crypto, the NFT stuff, and have it benefit my business to consumers?
So you can use it exactly like you're supposing.
Okay.
And in fact, some people are already using it in supply chain to do just that. Hugo Boss, the luxury company, has cologne that it sells, which for years has been smuggled out of its factory by people who work there in other bottles or even in authentic bottles. They have smuggled out the cologne and they have sold it, out of the trunk of a car or whatever. Imagine if every bottle of Hugo Boss had a digital twin, an NFT. An NFT was created for each bottle. And we would put something on the bottles, right? Like a one of those,
a QR code.
A QR code, an NFC chip, something simple that could at each point be scanned by officials, whose public or private addresses are allowed to verify those NFTs are in their possession. Of course, there are ways to scam it, but I think it would be a lot harder to do if at each checkpoint, if you get a bottle out of someone's trunk, right, they could still steal a bottle and still sell it to you, but now it's not going to have an NFT attached. If a bottle with an NFT on it leaves the Hugo Boss system at any point, if it doesn't make it to the next checkpoint with this batch, then they're going to know, and it's not going to get scanned, and it's not going to be labeled as official. That barcode, if somebody goes home after they buy it and scans the NFC, it's going to show a message that says, like, no NFT attached, or bottle left the factory before it was sold. This is an unlicensed, unregistered, unofficial bottle. It is a forgery. It is a fake, even though the stuff inside is exactly the same, right?
Sure.
So that is one way. We'll use that for food supply chains. It will help us trace, problematic outbreaks of disease with more certainty. And for people who might not know, who might be saying, well, can't you just fake that? Can't you just build a landing page or a website for it? When an NFT is created, it is the result of a transaction that is written, if you will, it's digital, on a ledger. It is an immutable ledger, meaning once that transaction goes on, I can never change it. Nobody can ever change it. I can change the asset that it's tied to. It might point to a picture. It might point to a bottle of cologne. But unless I have the authority, unless I am the owner of that piece, or the operator of the contract, like Hugo Boss in this instance, I can make it so that unless you're that person, nobody else can change it. And it's not like a, password protected thing where you can just guess like I love Hugo Boss and go in and change it, or like scan your retina. This is like, encrypted private keys. It's highly secure. So yeah, that's absolutely a great use case for
And it would
jewelry.
also help so like the jewelry, it would help to say, you don't just take our word for it. When I tell you it's conflict free, I'm not bullshitting. I didn't just print out a fake certificate. You can scan this; it'll show you where it was mined, where it was, it'll every step of the way. So it was mined in Kenya, and then it got sent to Switzerland, and then it got cut up into little diamonds, and then those pieces went elsewhere, and we bought one, and here it is. Now it's your necklace, and here's your. Where'd it go? Oh, there you are. Okay, I thought I lost you for a second.
I'm good. It was just my phone telling me you're good.
Yeah. So that helps also legitimize the jewelry and the jeweler.
Well, and think about the relationship you can build with your customers, or corporations are kind of hard to humanize. But imagine if every diamond you bought, you could look on the blockchain and see my smiling face when I pulled it out of the ground. And you could see like some little old Swedish guy like cutting the face of it. And if he wanted to, when the NFT passed through his hands, there could be an option on the digital token that Hans the jeweler was able to say, like, I hope this diamond makes you so happy. You know what I mean? Like, what a great personal experience that not only do you have the confidence, but then at every step of the way, you've got, instead of just looking at a friendly Nike employee on a poster, you can have somebody in the warehouse when they package your shoes say, I hope these help you sort of.
It's like when you buy something on an Etsy shop and they write a personalized thing on the receipt, and you can see it every step of the way.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And you could do things like if you had an NFT pair of shoes. Say I got my Nikes and I go to the Cavaliers game, or I go to the Lakers game, or to whoever your favorite team is, and I get my shoes signed, and somebody takes a picture of me in my shoe. It's not really there yet, but the technology is flexible and will be there, that I can take a picture of me in my shoes, and because I am the verified owner of that NFT, it lives in my wallet, I will be able to attach that asset. I'm not going to put the picture on my shoe, but I absolutely, if I got a picture of LeBron James signing my shoes, I'm going to write that, take a picture, and I'm going to attach it to the NFT on the blockchain so that whoever buys it in the future is going to know this ain't just any pair of Air Force Ones.
Right.
And this is not a fake signature. Like, this is what happened here.
Yeah.
You're tokenizing formerly intangible things that would be tough to.
You're getting verified proof of everything. So it's not.
And it's not just the digital stuff.
Right.
It is a digital technology, but it can be tied to real things. And again, the thing that I really latch onto is formerly difficult to make tangible things. There are uniquely valuable experience, like getting LeBron James to sign my shoe is a uniquely valuable experience that until now has really only held sentimental value. But NFTs give us a way to tokenize experiences, people, their stuff. It's going to be wild what people are going to do with it. Can I tell you real quick an idea I had?
Yeah, I'd love to hear it.
So I don't know that I'm ever going to do this, but one of my ideas, I'm a performance artist, I'm an actor. And one of my ideas for helping people to understand this kind of difficult to grasp concept that the Bored Apes and the JPEG sellers really aren't doing a good job of explaining was to create a performance, and I would call it proof of ownership. The concept of the performance is the real or the intangible more valuable? One of them will disintegrate and fade over time. One of them will last on the blockchain forever. Would you rather have a diamond or the diamond NFT? And is it more valuable to have something that, what is valuable to own? So I would tokenize a number of things. For example, I might tokenize the act of planting 100 trees. I might write an NFT song. I might say, this NFT, if you buy it, allows you to get an original song from me. Like little silly cutesy stuff. But then also, like, if you buy this NFT, I will shave my hair. And this token will represent the hair. And what I'm interested in, especially, this token is a vial of my blood. This token is a vial of my semen. This token is, me calling someone and telling them whatever. Is a dance with my mother. All these things that are weird, intangible, like what the hell is that? And then I also thought it would be interesting to do, like, instead of just sending you my hair and also sending you my token, wouldn't it be interesting, I think, if I got a vault somewhere and I just locked the hair up? You get the token, but the hair's in a vault. And one day, hair takes a long, 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 long time to disintegrate, but one day it will. And then, right now, you might say, oh, I'd rather have his hair. But one day, the only thing that'll be left is the token. The same for the blood, the same for the, you know what I mean? So just an interesting way to get people to, nobody is going to go around selling NFTs of their blood in the future. Although hopefully a performance like that would prompt people to think how they might use it and the kinds of regulations we need to anticipate putting in place to keep folks safe. Just stuff like that I thought would be really, really fun. And that's the kind of story you can only tell with an NFT. Doesn't work in a movie, doesn't work with a book. That medium is new.
Sure. And I think a lot of other like use cases, like concert tickets, could be NFTs, where you could get a performance. You can get the, bands used to sell like the CDs from the concerts. You get a ticket, you have the ticket, the ticket's the NFT. Metallica, 1993 in Mexico is like one of the greatest live albums of all time. If that could be a token, an NFT, it's like the shirts that say I was there. If you could have an NFT version of that, I mean, in 3 weeks, I'm going to see Rage Against the Machine in their reunion tour. Imagine if my ticket was an NFT that I could have as a collectible to say, I was there when Rage Against the Machine reunited 11 years later. I was there. Here's a ticket. You can click it. You can scan it. You can watch the performance.
That's exactly right. And I would say you can take it even further at concerts where different tiers of NFT are attached to different types of experiences and packages. Maybe you get a physical t-shirt or an album, or maybe this NFT, if you give us your email address, we'll send you MP3s of all the songs.
Right.
A token that has use, a token that has there are some tokens that are called semi-fungible tokens. They're not quite non-fungible. They're not quite fungible. And a concert ticket is a good example. Before the concert, if it's a general admission ticket, it's more or less a fungible token. Everyone's ticket gets pretty much the same thing. It doesn't matter if you've got this one or that one. They both let you into the concert. After the concert, because it becomes a collectible, it no longer has redeemable value except as a collectible. Then it becomes one of 1,000 and is provably unique. Then it's non-fungible. It changes over its lifetime. That's something I'm interested in. And I'm also interested in NFTs at a concert or a festival beyond just like ticketing. I think, for example, imagine you went to a concert like that and you had your digital wallet where they dropped your regular ticket, but then they also gave you 50 NFTs that were like, they had your face on them. I don't know, Kenneth at Metallica or whatever, kind of thing. And they said, whoever collects the most of these from other people will get a special prize. And so all throughout the concert, this is more prevalent for festivals where they want you to do this, right? At a concert, you're really doing this. But at a festival where everyone's doing this and building community, you could incentivize them to do this thing they already do by saying, hey, everyone's got a unique one, collect them all. The person who gets the most gets to go backstage on day 3 or gets upgraded to a VIP camping package. And not only does one person get this really cool prize, everybody gets to create this like scrapbook of here are all the people I met at the concert. And all of us are incentivized to meet more people, form more relationships and memories that keep us coming back every year. Right?
Very cool. That's cool. I think there's a lot. I mean, it makes me feel a little bit bad that the whole that the technology. I mean, look, it's still kind of new, So of course, there's going to be people who go, it's just a JPEG. It's the same. I'm sure you feel this way about TikTok, where you talk to someone who's a little bit older and they don't really know a lot about it, but 5 years ago they heard, oh, it's an app for kids, and so you go, oh, I'm on TikTok. Oh, that's the app for kids, and it's like, well, it's kind of changed. Right. That's how this kind of stuff is. Where Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. I just wanted to, I thought there was an individual thought. Please keep going. I had a comment over here I wanted to bring to your attention.
Sure. But it changes. Things change. And sometimes people's understanding of the thing doesn't change. They still think it's digital computer money, and or it's a picture of a hot dog, or it's, an app for kids. And
that's right.
I think the role that maybe me to a lesser extent because I'm a stock guy, but that you have is to, and that's what kind of I hope what we're doing here, because I have a lot of people who follow me are stock guys just like me. I don't know a lot about this, so that's why I follow so many crypto people. And when I was in New York with you and Alex and talking about all this stuff, I was like, I mean, I've never been so excited. Like, the stock market is great and whatever, but I came out of that going like, oh, you could do this, you could do that, could you do this? And he was like, yeah. And one of the things Alex and I were talking about is gift card, like a rewards card, like Chipotle. I have the Chipotle app on my phone, so I go and I scan and whatever. But we were saying, if you have 10,000 points on your Chipotle app and you don't go to Chipotle anymore, you could sell it to someone who, wants to buy those tokens because they're 10,000 points away from a free burrito, and or whatever, whatever the scenario is. There's stuff outside of it's a hot dog picture, or it's, or whatever.
Well, and it's more than just money. I wish,
it's
cryptocurrency is kind of a misnomer. It's going to do so much more than money. It really is solving a communication problem. That's all money does. It helps us not have to quibble when there's a $10 price tag and we have a $10 bill and we all know what $10 is when we go to buy a shirt. Mm-hmm. It makes the space between our ideas and feelings and each other's ideas and feelings more easy to navigate. So crypto does that too. One of the things somebody said over here, Money Badger came over here and said McDonald's receipts will be NFTs. And I think he's half tongue in cheek, but I used to, when I first came to Memphis and I was broke, I used to go to McDonald's and they had that fill out a survey and get a free Big Mac. I'm pretty sure I'm the reason they switched it to with purchase, because I would just go to the trash can, man, and just pick them off the top. Not even dirty ones, people. Don't look at me like that, although I would have. I'd just pick them up, man. Free Big Macs all day long. If that ticket was an NFT, that wouldn't be possible, because whereas a receipt can be forged, can be picked up from the trash, an NFT is tied to your public and private encrypted address. If it's not in your wallet, you don't own it. You can't just show up with a picture that looks the same as the asset the NFT is attached to. If there's no NFT attached, sorry, Charlie, no Big Mac for you.
I love Big Macs.
God, I haven't had a Big Mac in a minute, although I had some nuggets the other night.
Love it. Does anyone have any other crypto or NFT questions?
If they don't, I'd like to ask you a question or two, if that's okay.
Yeah,
I'd like to ask
you
just an investing question.
Okay. Yeah. What's up?
I'd like to ask you a couple, but the first one is something I have a hard time grasping well enough to explain to people. I have seen many explanations that help me to understand it, but not well enough to start doing it. Is I believe the technical term in the biz would be futures trading, longing and shorting things. I still don't know that I have a good, when people ask me, I always end up saying, like, you're buying something in the future, or you're selling something in the future at an agreed upon price today to protect your interest or to make more money or whatever. And I can kind of like draw them through the strategy, but I'm not sure I understand it well enough to very simply, concisely explain it. And I wonder if that's something you can help me with.
Yeah, but I think you kind of did it. I mean, farmers do that. That's something farmers, for example, they sell futures for like pigs and hogs and orange juice and stuff like that. It's an agreed upon price. I guess
I didn't think about farmers. That's a really good example.
That's typically how futures are used. I mean, lumber too, lumber as well, stuff like that, where someone comes in and goes, hey, Tropicana needs, 1 billion oranges or whatever. We want to pay for the price now, because we expect prices are going up in the future or whatever. And the farmer gets the money now and they get the secured price. And then they reevaluate later when they need more. That's why we see stuff like, you had all this lumber and stuff. People had plenty of lumber a couple years ago. Then COVID hit. The factories were shut down and stuff like that. Now they needed more lumber. They didn't have it. Workers were sick. The futures contracts shot through the roof because they were saying, there's no workers, there's no one cutting down the trees, there's no one in the factories, we're producing way less lumber now, but the demand is still there. Now the futures contracts skyrocket because it's a supply and demand issue as well.
But are they buying or selling at that point? That's the thing I think I don't understand well enough to explain is, okay, so we got COVID, we're going to need lumber, but everybody's getting sick, so the demand is still there, but the supply is falling off. I am betting how am I setting it up to capitalize on the price, which I'm reading the situation to say in the future, lumber is going to be worth a lot more because there will be more demand and less supply. So how do I set up, if I wanted to create a futures contract, what is the kind of, I am buying a future, I'm going long, I'm buying a long, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I would buy a long for, do I set my own price target? I still don't understand that kind of stuff.
Well, I don't really trade a lot of futures, so I'm not probably the one to answer that sort of specific question. But I think the companies who are buying the stuff from the manufacturers negotiate in bulk and set their prices like that. But personally, selling futures like you and me, I've never really done it, so I'm not the one to ask. Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. I'm not sad about it. I don't plan to do it. Like I said, I don't do a lot of trading. It's a very small part of what I do.
Yeah.
Mostly, limit orders.
Right. Someone is asking, when would you personally launch a new project? It's winter now, so is it a bad time?
It really depends on what your goals are. If your goal is to sell an NFT to make money, and that's it, this is probably a bad time. Okay. I would compare NFTs right now and crypto generally. Maybe stocks are like this. I don't think they move quite as fast, but crypto is like a card game, like Magic the Gathering or like Pokemon, where new cards are released and new players find new ways to build new decks. They call it a meta strategy. Generally there are strategies and there are meta strategies that emerge. When this character is really strong and in common use, somebody figures out a new kind of meta strategy to take this one down. And then a new kind of meta emerges. So the NFT and crypto markets move through meta phases. There was a DeFi summer. There was a profile picture NFT craze. And right now we're in a meta that is about free mints, where people mint an NFT for free that other people can buy later at a floor price that's higher than free. They're trading high volume. There are people doing a lot of derivative collections. I would say, generally speaking, if you're looking to build a project that makes money, if that's your goal, it's a lot of people's goal. If that's what you're trying to do, it's probably not ever a bad time, but you should be ahead of the meta. If we're in a meta, it's too late. If you're in a profile picture season, don't make a profile picture project. If your goal is to demonstrate a new potential for the technology and you feel you can explain it well, and you've been able to show a minimum viable product to people and gotten good feedback, then it's always a good time to launch. If there is a need for what you are building in the market, for example, if I explain my NFT performance art collection to people and half of them go, huh? But everybody says, oh yeah, that concert idea sounds great. It might be a really good time for me to be working on an NFT, strategy for, that's something we're doing at Faceless right now. Events in the metaverse, we're talking about ticketing, we're talking about POAPs, we're talking about events in real life, how we can start to bring NFTs to bear in ways that aren't just like stupid funny money ways. So that's something we're building right now, and I think it's a great time for it. If you can get ahead of the trends, or you have something,
that's what I was going to say. It seems like if you're listening and you're picking up stuff, that sounds a little bit kind of like futures. You're looking around and you're going, hey, what are people talking about a year from now? It's try a way to get ahead of it.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Someone else in my comments is saying, Kendall is saying, the public doesn't do too much in futures. So I think that's a callback to our earlier conversation about futures. He was saying that traders usually just trade calls and puts, but they don't really get too involved in the futures market. Do you have any comments or questions on your end about the stock market, or do you have any questions about the stock market?
I don't have any questions on my end at this moment in time.
Okay.
I neglected a couple old ones, but none of them are evergreen. If people do have questions on this end about the stock market, I will tell you that, Kenneth is the guy to ask. He'll shoot straight with you. If he doesn't know the answer, he'll tell you he doesn't. And that alone makes him top notch in my book, I guess, something I've been thinking about is I used to be in stocks, and I was really interested in future, not trading futures, but I was really interested in future stuff. And I would love to hear, what some of your thoughts are, because I haven't really been paying attention as much to companies that are not in the crypto space. I was very interested in like Neuralink, like looking for when companies adjacent to and around it, were going public, that kind of stuff. Also, companies that made graphics chips, graphics cards that would likely be used in AR and VR technology hardware. I think after this kind of software iteration, we're going to see another hardware kind of revolution. And then also like just other kinds of infrastructure that supported those types of technologies, emergent AI. I'm a big fan of buying shovels, when everybody else is digging gold. So, I don't know if there are any, companies that excite or interest you or what you think. I would just love to hear any of your thoughts, because it's not something I've really thought about in probably 2 years, or even how, as you watch stocks and crypto, things that are the same or different that pique your interest.
Yeah. Well, I did a video a while back. I'm actually gonna have to look for it. I'm gonna have to look for it and try to find it on like metaverse stocks and stocks that are in that tech, like Oculus and stuff like that. Off the top of my head, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Oh, I said sure. And then I said, I'm just moving to a darker room to get my phone charger, but okay. I'm here with you.
Yeah. I did a video a while ago on metaverse stocks and stocks that are in the chip sector. I'm going to dig it up. I'm going to find it and I'll repost it. But as far as like crypto adjacent, I don't know too much about that. I mean, I know there's what's the game that everyone like Roblox and stuff like that could have some sort of crypto NFT aspect to it. Off the top of my head, there's Roblox. What's the other company that makes the chips? Cybersecurity. Someone is saying. Oh, Riot. Yeah, Riot. Riot's the one that I was thinking of. The Riot blockchain. But there's another company, and I can't remember the name of it, who makes. I'm gonna have to find that video, and I'll have to repost it.
NVIDIA was one that I loved. Microvision was another one. I was an investor in Microvision before. They had like a 1,000% year. And I didn't have like hardly anything in it. Like a couple bucks, it was like a lottery pick. But that was cool.
Yeah. What do you think about people who, so I usually tell people when they say like, a lot of younger people hate Wall Street. They don't want to participate in like the hedge funds and these giant mega corporations. I say, look, you got to find what you want to invest in. If you don't want to invest in stocks, that's fine. Find something you want to invest in. Maybe it's gold, maybe it's real estate, maybe it's crypto. I'm not going to force stocks on you. I don't care. I mean, I'm a stock guy. I have some crypto as well. If you don't want to be in the stock world, that's fine. There are other avenues for you. But it seems like these worlds are slowly merging, right? People would say like, oh, I hate these hedge funds and whatever. But then the hedge funds come out and say, well, we have a very large position, and they're celebrating it because it adds legitimacy to the cryptocurrency, right? So it's this weird, like, we hate it, oh, but they're embracing it. Is that good or bad? Like, because they'll manipulate it just like they've manipulated the stock market. So on the one hand, it's bad. On the other hand, it is good, like you said in the beginning. 50% of banks are now involved. So it does add legitimacy. But it also means that it is basically like a new stock market, right? The hedge funds are getting in. They're going to manipulate these things. For the people who hated the stock market and so they loved crypto, are they struggling with this?
I think it's like stocks or like real estate or like, it's hard. Bell Hooks says that you cannot use the master's tools to dismantle the master's house, which is the idea that within a paradigm like a capitalist economy, there is no possible way to do anything that is egalitarian. And I'm not entirely sure that I agree with it 100%. And I think personally, though, the best bets we have are emerging technologies, are newer markets. Even though, the structure of like liquidity providing, market cap, et cetera, shares, tokens, the way we invest, they're tools that are, older. I really do believe that within stocks, within real estate, but especially within cryptocurrency, that's why I spend my time there. There is an unprecedented opportunity for anybody who's starting a company, anybody who's investing to, find something that you believe in or influence the direction that things are going. It's hard to get Coca-Cola to change their mind about what they're going to do. They're going to do what they're going to do. And they don't, care what you or I say. There's not enough influence to change it. But somebody like Vitalik Buterin with the Ethereum Foundation, they're really listening to folks like us. You can talk to them, and they want to know what you have to say. So I'm not pessimistic at all. But I think that, there's some degree of that everywhere. It's really about who you are and what you choose. I used to be very opposed to the idea of making, like money in any sort of like tradey way, speculative way, but not so much anymore. And what helped me make the piece was just feeling like I had, more control maybe about my own future or ability to influence other people's futures by joining something than by just poo-pooing it and naysaying it.
Yeah. It's an interesting new world, right?
Super.
The whole crypto space is bringing a whole bunch of people in who have never thought about this. Hey, whoa!
Did you see my cool glasses?
Yeah, that was awesome.
You know Party Finance?
No, I don't.
Oh yeah, you got to follow Party Finance. Party Finance is kind of a foot in both worlds.
Okay.
Is a trader, has done business, can talk about stocks, can talk about commodities, and can talk about crypto. Is a really interesting and cool, nice guy. I met him in Miami at the Bitcoin conference this year.
Okay.
Are you going to any more conferences? Do you travel much?
Well, I do travel, but I don't have any plans to go to any others. But I see that they're all happening. Right, there's a lot of conferences.
So many of them.
I know it's like there's another conference every other week now. It seems like.
Well, and you did it right in terms of figuring out who was going to be there, kind of using your time to. There's a really high noise to signal ratio at conferences, and there's so much stuff going on, dude. I think knowing who's going to go, knowing who you want to talk to, knowing what your goals are. You said you're really trying to lean into content creation more. So are you trying to do content that's like this? Are you trying to capture interviews with people? Are you trying to do more short form videos, more long form? Maybe would conferences play into a strategy at all in terms of your ability to get content? I'd just be curious to know. And I'd love to hear what your thoughts are for where your content is going past like brand deals, you said.
Sure. Well, someone's asking if we're coming to Australia. I have no plans to go to Australia, but I would love to.
One of my colleagues lives there, and we were teasing him about it.
Who lives there?
The other day, we were saying his name is Mahir, and he's one of the folks at Faceless Labs. He lives in Melbourne.
And Crypto Karen lives in like New Zealand, right?
Yeah.
So
and I think I know one or two other people in Australia. I don't know anybody else. Karen's the only one I know in New Zealand. I love her too.
Yeah, she's great. We'll have to. Someone else is saying no. Come to New Zealand.
I want to know what's going on in Australia.
What's that?
I said I want to know what's going on in Australia that we need to. I mean, obviously, we just need to go because we got to go.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Maybe there was like a conference or something.
Yeah, let me know.
Someone is saying, Homer is saying, oh, wow, there's a lot of people. Lisa Kalma and Ani are in Australia. Blockchain Project is in New Zealand. Blockchain Project is in here right now.
I knew that.
But you asked me outside of my content. I don't really know. I know in terms of brand deals, I would be open to branching out a little bit. I want to do stuff that's outside of another crypto exchange, another stockbroker. I'm a little tired of these emails. I would like to, you could do visual representations with anything. I can explain a diversified portfolio using crumble cookies or Doritos or anything. And I can have it all laid out on my table. And this is what a diversified portfolio looks like. I have a chocolate chip. I have oatmeal raisin. I have peanut butter. And you can use it. And it can be a sponsored post. And so, I want to branch out a little. I don't know. I mean, I would love to go like, I don't know. I mean, how much time people want to hear me talk about NFT NYC, but Crypto Mason was there. Who, for people who don't know him, he has over 1 million followers. He's also 21 years old. And right after I had met you left, you were running off somewhere. I went upstairs and Mason was there. He presents as like very confident, like very like, he knows who he is. I walked up behind him and I kind of like popped him on the shoulder and he turned around and he gave me the biggest hug. He was like, oh my God, he gave me this huge hug. And someone came up to people were coming up to him nonstop. Like, oh my God, you're that guy on TikTok. Someone came up with a camera. And it was me, Mason, and Meg, and we were just having a conversation. And he said, "Hey, could I interview you?" And so Mason was like, sure. So the guy was like, stand over here, the lighting, the stuff. He's getting his camera ready. Meg and I kind of step off to the side, and I'm a little excited to watch this interview because I'm like, I'm going to learn something about NFTs. And Mason turns to Megan and goes, come here. And he brings her into the video. And the guy's like setting up the camera, and I'm standing off to the side. And Mason turns to me and he's like, come on, get in here, and brings me into the video. I don't know if I would have had that kind of foresight as a 21-year-old, with 1 million followers. My ego would probably be through the roof. If someone wanted to interview me, I don't think I'd be sitting there going, hold on, let me bring my friends in at 21 years old. I don't know if I would have done it now. I probably would have been so excited to have an interview that it wouldn't have even occurred to me. But Mason was like, bring my friends in. So that was really cool. And I have the video of the interview. So I would definitely put stuff like that in. More interview stuff I would love to do. The videos where they walk up to someone in a mall and they say like, hey, how much money do you have? What job do you do? I would love to do stuff like that. Oh man,
you absolutely, that would be a great video. You would be really good at that.
Yeah, stopping people on the street. Hey, do you have any investments? What are your investments? Because I just posted a video this afternoon. 55% of Americans aren't invested in anything. No stock market, no stocks. I guess the data is too soon to see if there's anyone invested in crypto, or what percentage of people who are
but certainly aren't. The number is low.
But the number is very low. People, it still is very early for crypto. And I thought it would be a fun interview segment. What are you invested in? What do you have? So I don't know. I could branch out and do that. I like food, so I always do those food videos that are fun. It's only 55%. There's a lot of people who aren't invested, which is why I hope they see these videos of us and they learn something and start investing.
Yeah, one of the types of videos I'd like to do more, but I haven't figured out a good way to make it work on TikTok, is I'd really like to do more videos that model how to have, and maybe Man on the Street is a way to do it. Have you heard about Bitcoin? And they say no, and then I get to talk to them and say, well, here's what it is, or do you know what an NFT is? No,
right?
And then model for people what it looks like to have conversations that they're not too technical. And sure. I need to just always work on that, get better at that. I think that's probably the most important thing anyone in my position can do right now, is get really good at explaining this to somebody who has no idea what it is, in a way that helps them say, oh, I get it, I love it, or I see how it matters, or it's not for me, but I like it, or whatever, So Man on the Street might be the way to go. I don't know.
I think it would be great, and it would get people interested. Have you seen the videos where they say, would you rather have $1,000 or 1 Bitcoin? And the amount of people who say $1,000, and there was one I just saw the other day where someone said, he was asking a bunch of people, and he asked these 2 friends, and the guy said $1,000, and his friend looked at him and was like, Bitcoin's worth way more than that, and the friend was like, yeah, but what is it? Why do I? And the friend was like, even if you don't know what it is, just take it and sell it. You'll have $20,000. And the guy was like, nah, I'm gonna go with $1,000. It was kind of eye opening.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think Man on the Street would be something I'd like to do. I don't know if I'm confident enough to do that yet. Stopping strangers, like I watch people do it on TikTok, and I'm like, damn, I couldn't do that. But maybe it's something to work towards.
The tough thing for me would be, like, what I love about TikTok is if I want to make a TikTok, I get an idea. Sometimes I'll write a script, and then I go out in my garden and I just talk to the camera. Right. And what I would not like about Man on the Street is I probably would have to roll the camera, not the TikTok camera. I'd have to walk up to a lot of people and say, excuse me, can I film you, as if I just walked up to you in order to ask you a question? And they'd be like, sure, okay, great. And, that's 5 minutes of my time. And
right.
then I gotta walk up to somebody, have a conversation with them, and I'm not just going to be like, I don't know, if I want to like get a golden nugget out of it, I might need to have a 5-minute conversation, and then I'm going to have to go home and have to edit the video. I don't know. Yeah. I need to practice it. Maybe I'm afraid for nothing, but I would just hate that until I could get a camera crew,
I think, yeah, for sure. I think for me, the way to go about it would be to start with friends that the camera didn't know were friends, but I was comfortable enough with them to just get into the habit of, like I made a video with a friend where we pretended that we were walking towards each other and decided to get Chinese food, but I picked him up and we drove to the restaurant, and then I said, okay, you go over there. I was like directing a movie. I was like, you go over there, I'm going to count down, you start walking towards me, and I'm going to say, hey, and we're going to high five, and, you want to get some Chinese food? And we'll look up, and there's the restaurant. Yeah, let's go. And it felt so unnatural. You're an actor, so you're probably used to being having someone direct you and saying, let's do that again. Let's try again. But for me, it would seem so unnatural and forced that starting with friends might break me out of my comfort zone and get me a little used to it. And then I could, like, next time I see you in person, I'm gonna do a walk up to you on the street thing and go like, "Excuse me, sir, could I?"
Yeah. Do we personally know anybody who does like man on the street content? Because I would like to ask them what their technique is and how they make it easy for themselves. I would like to know. I've
I
only
do.
done that with like a crew.
Yeah, I do. I know. His name is Chris Stocks, and he's the guy who goes up to people in the mall and asks about how much money they have.
Next time you see one of his videos, will you just at me in a comment so I can just follow him? Because I'd like to see it and maybe just be like, hey, I know Kenneth.
Yeah, for sure. We were just DMing each other the other day, so I can definitely set something up between the two of you, and you can ask.
Yeah, I just like to ask him, because if he has an easy way to do it, I think that would be really helpful content. I had a conversation with a woman at NFT NYC. Did I tell you about this? The woman who was working for there was a company that was doing a lot of publicity, and they were advertising like these posters, and it was like, put your NFT on a watch. Which, first of all, makes it sound like the picture is the NFT, which I have a huge problem with, but forget about it. So I walk out of my hotel one day, and there's this like protest leader, and he's going, what do we want? And like 3 dozen people with these signs are going, NFTs, when do we want them? Now. And I walk by, and they're chanting and they're chanting and they're chanting until I get to the coffee shop on the corner. I can still hear them in the distance. Go inside, get my coffee, come outside. I can still hear them. And I'm walking back to the hotel. And this is like 5 minutes later. Meanwhile, hundreds of people are just walking by on the street, looking at their posters, watching their spectacle. And I love a good spectacle. But
Sure.
these people probably have no friggin' idea what's going on. And meanwhile, it's being subconsciously ingrained into their minds that NFTs are like a commercial. They're a consumer good. They're all about like, watches, pictures. Okay, NFTs, great. Who needs them? So I walked up to an old lady who's holding the sign. She's like a little 65-year-old lady. And I said to her, excuse me, can you tell me what this is about? She says, oh, you can put your NFT on a watch now. I said, oh, that's interesting. What company is this? And she told me. I said, and what are you guys trying to do? And she said, oh, I don't really work for them. They just hired me to hold the sign. I said, oh,
Wow.
do you know what an NFT is? And she said, no, I have no idea. Can you tell me? And so here is this company that not only wasted its spectacle on all these people walking by, but didn't even take the time to pay this person they were probably paying hundreds of dollars to,
Sure.
what an NFT is and why it might matter to her to make her a more, a customer.
Sure.
And it was so short-sighted. So we had this great conversation. This, what do you do? Here's how you can. She's an equestrian yoga teacher, which means not that she teaches horses yoga, but that she teaches yoga on horseback. And we had a whole conversation about here's how you might use NFTs to do the things you're already doing now. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? And by the end, she was saying, well, that sounds really interesting. I'd like to learn more about that. Thank you. And I wish I had it on film, man. It was just great.
Oh yeah.
But
Money Badger is back, and he was commenting about our man on the street thing. And he says he said he's down for that. It sounds like comedians in cars getting coffee, which is a great idea to do an investing kind of show in a car.
I like investors in cars getting coffee. We could do that. That would be fun.
Go. That's the idea. I think we should do it. He lives in Philly. You're in Nashville. We could have a road trip.
Listen, man, decentralized cars getting coffee. Oh my gosh, what a great idea. I got to write that one down.
Money Badger. There you go.
Yeah, right. I would love to talk to him more. He's great.
Yeah, he is. Hey, Skip is in here. I guess, should we wrap it up if anyone has any other questions?
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. This was pretty. I appreciate you. I feel like you really put me in the hot seat, and I knew you had a lot of questions, and I knew people would have a lot of questions. So I hope I wasn't too wordy, but I really appreciate the opportunity that you gave me to speak and shine a light on some of those things, because I need more practice at it, and it's my favorite thing in our space to do, is to help people see it more clearly.
That's what I want, because I feel like there are so many people who just, they heard it was a scam, so it's always what it's going to be in their mind.
Yeah.
So somebody says that, Homer is saying car conversations with coffee and cookies, but the real key here is that we need to get Crumble to support this. Right?
Yeah, we do. Absolutely, we do. Investors getting cookies. That's exactly right.
and it's filmed in Crumble locations only.
Oh, yeah, that could be my man on the street.
Like I'll
God,
call you and I'll say, like, you know how Seinfeld will, like, he'll call someone and be like, hey, I'm nearby. I could call you and say, Evan, meet me at Crumble. I gotta ask you a question, and then we meet at the Crumble, and I can do it everywhere, wherever they have a location. That's an idea.
Oh,
And they
I
sponsor
love
the show.
that.
They sponsor the
Yeah,
show.
actually, we could probably do that. We could do. It would probably be nothing for me to get a phone and a video phone, and actually film us having an actual conversation at an actual Crumble cookie, and then you could post it from your perspective, and I could post it from mine.
I think we should do this.
That's it. That's the play. We'll do it. To keep thinking about it. Do you have any final parting thoughts, words of wisdom, good jokes, anything I can do to support you right now, or make your life better?
I don't think so. I mean, if it's okay with you, I'd love to post this on my YouTube channel because Birds of the USA is missing this video and she's very upset because she's asleep. She's in Spain, so I said I would post it on YouTube.
I would be honored. I need to up my YouTube game. My goal was to post more live conversations so people could have them. Right. I'd love to know if you have a system for it later. You can tell me another time. But sure. Yeah, I guess I'd just say then by way of closing, for folks who are watching who made it this far, hopefully you don't still think crypto is a scam. Hopefully you don't think NFTs are a scam. The final thing I would say is look for people who are having conversations where they're emphasizing the tech, crypto beyond currency, NFTs beyond JPEGs, and people who can help you see why this might matter to folks who aren't just investors, who aren't just super technical. I think if you can find people like that, or people who are also interested and curious, even if they don't have good answers to questions and aren't afraid of asking questions, I think you're on the right path, and you'll find the golden nuggets at the end of the rainbow.
Very good. I love it.
Thank you, my friend, for making time to talk with me.
Yeah, thanks for the invite. This was your idea, I believe. So I'm glad that we were able to set it up. My mom says that she thought it was very informative. She's in here. My mom's in here.
So great. I wish my mom watched my lives. My mom's not on TikTok. She used to be on TikTok. She had to get off because she spent too much time on it.
Okay, my mom is hardly ever on TikTok unless it's just to watch my TikToks. And then I'll open up the app and it'll be like 15 new likes. And I'm like, all right. And I just scroll through and it's my mom.
I love that. Well, my friend, I hope you have a great night. And let's get the Crumble video. Let's get the man on the street technique. And let's talk again soon.
Yeah, I'd love it. And I'm going to tag you in my friend's video so you can learn the man on the street stuff.
Cool. Thanks, dude. Man. Have a good night.
You too. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Aha, I'm still here. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Have a good night. Unless there's any last-minute questions that we might have missed. Although I can't really answer the crypto stuff. So I'm gonna head out. Plus, I want to upload this to YouTube. Bye, everyone.